Families in the Houston area are struggling with the damages of bursting water pipes. Because of the freezing temperatures, the pipes begin to burst, leaving the families with leaking ceilings and frozen water. In North Carolina, restaurant, gyms, and amusement parks can open up to 50% capacity, while museums, salons, and retail stores can open up to 75% capacity indoors and 100% capacity outdoors. In March of 2020, Greensboro did not report a single homicide, but that did not stop their crime rate to be increased by 11% since 2019. On the 7th of April, North Carolina A&T discovered 6 COVID clusters, 4 in the on-campus residence halls, 2 on the football team, and multiple in the off-campus residence halls. Because of the leaking ceilings, some families have to move into hotels to avoid getting sick from not only the cold, but from the mold that's growing within their households. I interviewed an A&T student to hear about her family's struggles back in Texas.
It's been difficult hearing about my family going through their struggles down there. Luckily, their power has been restored and they didn't really have any water issues, but they definitely have friends who did.
As of Monday, 390,000 Texans were told to boil their water for their safety and also for the shortage of the water supply. This decision was made after the increasing number of vaccine distribution increased of 31.7%. Carolinians over age of 18 are eligible to at least 1 dose of the vaccine, while people under the age of 18 have to wait until later in the year.
I think it may be too soon to open things back up right now. Yes, there is a big rollout of vaccines, but I feel like there needs to be a drastic change in numbers before restrictions are eased.
I just feel like children under the age of 18 should be able to get the vaccine because they're the ones in school and have some type of occupation, while most adults are working from home and out of work.
Despite the positive news, government officials have cautioned that the new variants of the virus may pose a threat as the state relaxes the restrictions. I recently discussed the crime rate in Greensboro around the pandemic with Officer Ronald Glenn, a public information officer at the Greensboro Police Department, and to see what he believes is the cause of the reduced homicides in March of 2020.
A lot of times when you have violent crime, it's usually the result of human interaction. And so the fact that we reduced that human interaction did probably help in reducing homicides.
I then discussed the shooting incidents that are happening across the nation and wanted to know if he believes it is because of the relaxed COVID restrictions.
A lot of these incidents are not going to be tied to one specific factor. The reality is there are a lot of things that play or factor into why these incidents occur, especially on a national level. And so I don't know that it's necessarily tied to the fact that we have opened up and, eased restrictions.
Since 2021 began, the crime rate has decreased by 8%, but the homicide rate is still increasing. Between March 31st and April 7th, the university counted 200 COVID cases, 196 in students and 4 in staff. The university then eliminated in-person dining at the Student Center and CAF and banned visitors on campus housing.
What I believe caused the clusters for COVID at A&T is more than likely the collection of events has been going on, an increasing amount of get-togethers such as Aggie Fest.
Aggie Fest is an annual festival hosted by students, usually held in the beginning of April, around the same time the COVID clusters began to rise.
Yes, I do think Aggie Fest is the reason why there has been a rise of COVID cases on campus because during Aggie Fest, that's when parties and large gatherings happen, and them even allowing Aggie Fest in the first place just basically gave the green light for all that stuff to happen.
Even though there are restrictions, A&T are still worried that the students won't follow these protocols, and that will hinder the May 2021 commencement.